Denial, denial is a festering disease. It brings about disease to not look at truth.
Today's
Okay.
guest, Miss Lynn Whitfield. She is Josephine Baker. She is Brandy Webb. She is Roz Batiste. She is Lady Mae Greenleaf. Legendary in all rights. Never once loses her cool, and even when she does, still cool. Miss Lynn Whitfield.
Oh, that was wonderful. Send me a copy. I'm gonna write it down, give it to everybody. That's how you have to introduce
From
me.
now on, I love that. Let's do it. I love that. Miss Lynn, I love you so much, and we all do. You have always been such a beautiful beacon of just Black womanhood for us. Always.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Everybody that I have come onto this show, I ask them to tell me who they are and not just your name, but who you are and one thing that you love most about who you are.
Hmm. Well, my name is Lynn, maiden name Smith, married name Whitfield. Um, I think one of the things I love most about myself and one of my best projects is that I have a best friend and a daughter, my daughter Grace. That is all past the professional and all the way into, I think what part of my purpose was. So um, I love being her mom and I love having her as a friend and a daughter.
Oh, you guys are so beautiful together. The last time I got to see you was at an award show, and you were just, everyone is like, Miss Whitfield, because they're trying to get that interview with you, but you're just like, my daughter Grace Gibson, everyone. And we're like, oh, we love it. It was beautiful, though. I love how you guys love each
Thank
other.
you. Thank
What has
you.
she taught you about yourself? Because you're so proud to be this woman's mother. What has she taught you?
Well, I don't know if it's pride, but I have to tell you that I was never one of those people who was like, I have to have a child. It was
Me
never
neither.
my thing. But she's so cool. But she's so cool. I like her so much. One of the first things she taught me was early on, when she was 8, and she would go with me to some of the things, and I think that I had some kind of way of speaking that wasn't what she heard when she was at home. And she said, Mom, why are you talking like that? That's not how you talk. I mean, be who you are. You're great, Mom. That's not why are you talking like that? That funny talking. And that was one of the first things she taught me, which was to get closer to my authenticity, and
To
that
be
would be
yourself.
okay.
Yeah. Well, yourself feels regal. I could never imagine you as a little baby girl because all I see is regal Lynn, regal Lynn Whitfield. So, what kind of
People
kid
say
were you,
this
Miss Whitfield?
regal thing. I'm like, John, where's the king? The queen's gotta have a king coming
Listen, where
down.
is
Where's the king? Where's the kingdom? Where is... But thank you. I just think that maybe that has something to do with maybe that I studied dance when I was younger, that
that is.
you know, carriage, because you certainly have seen me kick some ass.
We have, but it's still
So
regal.
So I don't know. I don't know how that all worked out that way,
It must be.
but I'll take it. I'll take it. I
It
love
must be
it.
the dancer in you. Well, what kind of kid were you growing up? Did you like? Were you a rough and tumble? Were you like a no nonsense kind of girl?
Okay, when I was growing up, I was the first grandchild. We lived with our grandparents, so I was always, you know, the apple of everybody's eye,
Oh, the
right?
favorite.
So so it was that, and then we lived, with my grandparents for the first 5 years of my life, and that was all very ladylike. When we moved to the suburbs, I became more of a tomboy, and I'd be out there with my neighbors because it was tons of trees and squirrels and cows and all that, and I got more rough and tumble. But I never did make it into the highly athletic group.
Oh no.
Am I athletic?
You weren't there?
I never made it into never made it into
Were
that
you
group.
the prom queen
Never
type?
really did basketball or track or any of that. I did it all in dance, stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay. So you were the prom queen type of girl.
No, I rejected all that.
Really?
I didn't want to be a prom queen. I didn't want to be in the cotillion.
Wow.
No,
Because you're like
I did not.
Southern, right? Like that's a
No,
thing.
I wanted to go to New York and be an actress. That's what I wanted to do.
And wow.
And I got rid of all
Throw
that
out
stuff.
tradition.
I didn't want to do any of it. I didn't want to do any of the things that my parents expected me to do. It was like I just want to go and be an actress. I want to go and study. I want to go and do that.
Well, good for you that it worked, because that would have been quite embarrassing had it not.
Well, I should. Wouldn't it though? But I'm so sorry I wasn't the queen. I should have done it.
You seem like you
What
would
the
have
hell?
been.
No, I wasn't that. Wasn't very active. With the football games and all of that. It looks like I would be, right?
Yeah.
See, there's always this person behind the
There's so many
thing.
faces
You
that
never
we
know.
have. Yeah. I'm interested in knowing a little bit about the start of your career when you said you wanted to get up and get out and be this actress. What was the first moment that you felt like, okay, I am talented?
I always thought, even as a little person, and that's why I think it's important that we listen to little people, because I always felt that I had something in me,
Mm,
but I didn't have the outlet for it. I always felt, yeah, any of you out there who have, children,
yeah.
and they say, be happy that they're interested in something, that they have a passion for it.
Right.
Because there was no real outlet for me in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Right.
So shout out Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Um, there was no outlet for me so much, but I always felt I had something.
Hmm.
I had something to offer. I did not really know that I had a real kind of beginning command, because I studied for all the early part of my career when I was out of school. I didn't know. I think when I did this Western called Silverado with Danny Glover and Kevin Kline and Kevin Costner.
Small
And I
potatoes.
got to play my little girl. Yeah, and they had a scene where I was on this stair, and Jeff Goldblum, the bad guy, was coming to steal me away and everything. And um, the first day we were shooting the scene, and the sun was there. It was Santa Fe, and the sun was going down, and I had to cry. It was like this thing talking about
Right.
her brother and what needed to happen, and I had to cry. And then right when they got to my close up, where it was right, I was ripe and ready to go with all the true
Right.
emotion. They lost the sun. They lost the sun, and so I had to come back
Oh,
the next day and rally up
those
all of
emotions.
that
Yeah.
again. And that was the one of the first times I knew that my acting classes and all those exercises and all that actually worked, because I was able to recreate the moment
Right.
again, full, and I knew then that I was getting a command of my talent and that I could repeat it, and I just kept working on it.
That's impressive.
It's all exercise.
Right. Right. It's a practice. It's something that you can learn, but there's
It is a practice, and a lot of people think, that acting is, well, that's walking and talking. Everybody can do that,
no.
but in fact, it calls for you to be all exercised up and ready to access those emotions and know what you're doing. I mean, nobody would try to dance a ballet and not do a bar. So,
Same with
there's
same art.
practice
Yeah.
to be had and exercise
Acting,
to be
we
had. Yeah.
Miss Whitfield, we know that acting is just not walking and talking. We have seen some terrible
But I mean, sometimes, it's It's a practice. I know you
I
know.
know. I
You
we've
so
seen
pretty.
things that.
Isn't she pretty, y'all? You just and so honest.
Oh, thank you. Listen, that's all I
So
know.
authentic.
That's all I
Yeah.
know. We can always say that your stuff, the things that you have given us, the acting that you have gifted us with, has always been practiced, and it's always been well packaged. It's not fake. It's not phony. It's always so good, so emotional.
Well, you know what? That acting that you can see that it's not the truth. I don't know. I never wanted to do that kind,
Yeah, you don't
because
do
it's
that.
like, oh my God, this is like being phoned in. And it's fun to dig in and find it, whether it's funny or dramatic, or it's just fun to find the truth of a human being,
Yeah,
and put it out there and see if people feel what you feel, to be a kind of mirror to humanity and see what it is. Like with Brandy Webb, I tell everybody, look, you know that crazy, but if you have to be that crazy, you might as well walk away. Just step away,
that's a lot of
leave
crazy.
leave your shoes right there and run in the opposite direction. Not to let anybody make you that crazy. But it was really good to go there all the way, go there because people got it.
Yep.
People could see themselves or see what they maybe wanted to do if they felt like they'd been
Right.
betrayed.
Right. And in the times that you're doing these things, you don't necessarily know that you are participating or a part of a classic. It becomes such later, right?
No, you never know. You never know. I didn't have a clue that um that would become a classic, but just in case it did, I'm so happy that Martin allowed me to work on that monologue when I had the barrel of the gun down his throat, and I said, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for all women.
Crazy girl.
It was like, yes, yes, the girls need a voice. You need to stop messing with people's hearts. And if this sticks around, that's a great message. And so, it's really fun when I'm in the street and stuff, and people are like, yeah, Miss Whitfield, you told me what it's like to be a man. You just don't use the L
I
word
love
like that.
that.
No, you taught me. But I had a Brandy in my life. I said, oh, da, 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 da. So, it's really good. And it keeps going through, younger and younger guys. They still watch it. Thank God they play it all the
Yeah,
time.
it's one of them ones, Miss Whitfield. It's one of them ones. And you seem to be always a part of that. Even with Greenleaf, I love that show. I promise you, as someone who grew up in the church, especially a Black church, watching the ins and outs of how Black families hold on to secrets, seeing an opulent Black family, also everybody's diabolical. But the thing that I love most about it, y'all are diabolical, but it's in your face. Like no one's secretive
Yeah.
about how awful they are.
No, no. I mean, because even if when they are secretive about it, it comes out. It gets discovered. But listen, families are complex, and often, I think they try to simplify um, characters, try to simplify stories, make it easy and accessible. And the fact is, yes, it is still very hard for many families, African American families in particular, to accept a gay relative
Yeah.
and for it to be okay, for them to be able to adjust and say, yes, we love you, we love your part. It's still hard. It's still hard to accept. It's still hard for, a woman who's, up on her high horse and trying to create this perfect
Yeah.
life, to look at the truth about ourselves, you know, and to say, yes, I messed up. Yes, I had a moment of infidelity myself. It has to be unearthed. So we're just presenting things that are really have been very complex behaviors in our families for
Yeah.
generation after generation
Yeah.
after
I
generation.
love that the show is unapologetic about the things that it approaches, whether it be, sexual molestation that happens within the family. And that's such a huge thread of that show. or even like you said, the infidelities, and dealing with um, just the taboo things of being a part of a church, having someone like Grace have a secret
Yeah,
son.
be, absolutely. Because, Lady May, when I think it happens a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you see something, you can feel in your spirit that is something's off. But rather than look into it, like with the daughter Faith that we never meet, who's dead when the show starts, right?
Yeah.
It, she finally had to come to herself and say, did I know? Did I really know? Did I see that? And was I in denial?
Right.
Denial, denial is a festering disease. It brings about disease. To not look at truth, to not, actually be able to see. And we have to, you know, be observant with our children because there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah. And that speaks to that.
And, and when you don't, and then you have to go and ask yourself, where did I go wrong? That's the thing, and self-investigate.
And that's not a lot of
Yeah,
people.
we've looked
People
at a
don't do
lot of
that.
stuff. This journey's been interesting,
People
huh?
don't do that. Like, now that we have this time in quarantine, maybe self-discovery and self-reflection is a little bit more accessible, but a lot of people don't choose to.
No, we're dancing as fast as we can to not look at all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what anybody wants to do. I mean, honestly, who honestly wants to look at themselves and say, "Oh, yeah, I really kind of blew that one. I messed that up."
Right.
That's not an easy thing to do. Nobody really wants to do that. We kind of run. The general behavior is that, and then for so many people, the idea of therapy or having a psychologist or a therapist or investigating, and I'm a mercenary. I feel like we need to take help wherever we can get it,
Yes.
and really look and see where we can, because everybody's like a work in progress, so we can always do it
Right.
better. We can always improve on ourselves. We can always, I mean, I sitting in this period right now and seeing how sometimes it's so hard to self motivate. Like, I can't touch you. I can't,
I
you
know.
know, put my hands on you right now. We're not at Essence Fest.
Right.
We're not at the film festival in Martha's Vineyard. We're not.
Oh.
I can't like touch my fan. When can I touch my?
Right.
So I've got to sit here and I've got to now reach out in different ways.
Mm.
So I really have been investigating, what threatens you with technology? Why are you so, but that's an investigation I have to make because I miss
I know.
y'all. I miss everybody
I
so
know.
much.
We love seeing your beautiful face, but at least we get to
Oh,
interact with
I
you.
love everybody so much. And I'm going to talk to you more. I'm going to get this together. Don't give up on me
Oh,
on
never,
social
Miss
media.
Whitfield.
I'm just saying, but you see all those hard, they know it's the truth. Do not get, I'm going to get it together. I look at a button and it's like, oh my God. And
You're not
I
alone.
just,
You're not alone, but you have time now.
so that is something that I've realized in this quarantine, that I love people. And you're so often to say, oh my God, I don't have to travel. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to. But in sitting here, I feel so distanced
Right.
from the people who helped me make this career because you're always there.
Right.
And I'm interested in you. You're interested in me. So I've got to do better on reaching out in cyberspace and being a part of the world.
Well, listen, we'd
And,
be grateful for every little last drip drop that you would give us. So whatever you want to give us,
oh,
we will gladly receive.
I should have been able to do this Facebook, this. I should have been able to do this by myself.
Well, yeah, you can't. Listen, we will tune in, Miss Whitfield, whenever you want to go live.
Can we chat some more? Okay.
Yes, for
You know
sure.
what I really, but definitely during the show because I feel like there's going to be conversations that I want to
Oh, for
have
sure.
with all of you who've been with this show for so long. I want to hear I want to just have conversations about it and debrief with the people who really created this show for us, because without the audience, there is no show.
Right.
And I just love everybody for it so much. And thank you so much for sticking with us for 5 years.
5 whole seasons. And now I've heard a spinoff
Five
is
whole
coming.
seasons. You know, it's amazing.
Yes.
And you know, and a possible spinoff. And we don't know what that would
I need to
be.
know if you're going to
But
be there, Miss Whitfield. Do you know anything about it?
they have not planned it all out yet
Oh,
or know what it will encompass or anything, but we shall see what we shall see.